Hello, Kensington Knights. So today we're going to step out even further into our understanding of nonfiction text, and we're going to look at quoting from the text. This is a big objective in fifth grade. So I can explain what the text says by quoting accurately from the text when answering text dependent questions. Okay? This is your notebook and how to set it up. So you'll want to hit pause. Make sure that you include the page number, the title, the date, the I can statement. This is your anchor chart, and this is my stop and jot that I'll share with you later. You don't have to copy that down. So go ahead and press pause and get that notebook ready. Okay, so there are different types of questions, and this looks at the question-answer relationship. Today, we're going to focus on the in the text questions. We're going to look at the right there questions and the think and search. Okay, so the right there questions are usually the who, what, where, when, why, and how. And they're usually right there in the sentence. Okay, it's usually one word or one phrase that is the answer. All right. A think and search is a little bit different because the answer can be found in several parts of the text. And they're usually asking those why questions. Why is one of the greatest questions in the world because it causes you to dig deeper, to look for reasons. Okay, so when we look at those question stems for the think and search question, it's for what reason, blah, 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 or how did, blah, 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 or why was, or what caused, da, da, da. Okay, we'll get to these other types of questions, but for right now, we're just looking at those text-dependent questions, which are the right there, really easy, the who, what, where, when, why, and how, and the think and search, which means the answer is not going to be in just one sentence. You're going to have to do a little search in the text. It may be found across several paragraphs, or it may be found across several sentences within a paragraph. So we ask right there questions or think and search questions. We find the answer and the evidence, and then we use the race strategy to share what we found. So some questions that I could ask about Lessons from the Deep is, what is Lessons from the Deep mostly about? Okay. How does the octopus protect itself from predators? How does the octopus hunt for food? How many hearts does the octopus have and where are they located? All of these are think and search questions. This last one right here, the orange sticky note, how many hearts does the octopus have? Could be a right there question, okay? However, because I added the and where are they located, these are all much more complex questions, okay? So when I'm reading, if I'm going to answer this question, how does the octopus protect itself from predators? I'm going to read, and this is really where we left off yesterday because we read all of this. I cut out the pictures because we just want to focus on the text. Okay, so one of the most striking characteristics of the octopus is the wide array of techniques it uses to avoid or thwart its attackers. Okay, now I'm just going to stop right now and I'm going to let you know that the author didn't think I would know what thwart meant. So the author gave me a context clue and said avoid or thwart its attackers. So already I'm thinking about that big three question from yesterday. What did the author expect me to know? What do they not expect me to know? Okay. When an octopus wants to move quickly to escape a predator, it one can expel water from its siphon and push itself backwards. This is called jet propulsion. Using this technique, octopuses can travel many miles. An octopus can also protect itself, idea number 2, by squirting ink at a predator, obscuring its view and causing it to lose its sense of smell temporarily. This makes the fleeing octopus difficult to track for the predator. Using a network of pigment cells and specialized muscles in its skin, the octopus can also instantaneously match the colors, patterns, and textures of its surroundings. And if the predator manages to grab an octopus by the arm, the octopus has one more trick up its sleeve. This escape artist can break off its arm and swim away, and then grow a new one later with no permanent damage. Okay, now I'm just processing that right now. There's 4 different ways that they can avoid being attacked, okay? And one of them is like a lizard's tail, okay? So, did I find the answer to my question in one sentence? No, I did not. I found it all across this one paragraph. So let's talk about paragraphs right quick. Of all the strange and wonderful creatures, that's the beginning of paragraph 1. See this indentation right here? You'll want to remember what that looks like because 5th graders have a hard time with that when they start writing research papers. Okay, so this is paragraph 2. And this is paragraph 3. And this is paragraph 4. I put in my answer that it was paragraph 5, so oopsie. All right, so what does all this mean? How do I begin to answer this question? Well, I've already marked up the text with where the answer was in the text. So now I'm going to reflect on the question again. How does the octopus protect itself from predators? I've got 4 ways. So I write according to the paragraph 4 in Lessons from the Deep. An octopus can protect itself from predators because it can, and look how I quote the text, expel water from its siphon and push itself backwards so it can escape. Expel water from its siphon and push itself backwards. My words were so it can escape. Okay? All right? Then, squirting ink at the predator allows it to disappear from the predator. Okay? Squirting ink at the predator. That's the author's words. I put it in quotes. All right? The rest of it is my words. Camouflage is an interesting way for the octopus to go undetected since it can match colors, patterns, and even textures of its surrounding. Okay, so network of pigment cells, specialized muscles in its skin. I didn't really include that because I don't want to include all of the author's words. I want to have some of my words in there too. That shows true understanding. So I just got to the important part, which is they can match colors, patterns, and even textures of its surroundings. Okay? And the idea of camouflage being an interesting way for the octopus to go undetected, that's all my words. All right? As a last resort, the octopus can, direct quote here, break off its arm. And now I'm making that connection that I made when I was reading, much like a lizard with its tail, to escape. The arm will grow back with no damage. Okay? So that's how you quote accurately from the text using a think and search question. All right? So, guided practice, we've got 4 Jamboards, we've got 1 article, we've broken it apart into 4 different sections so you guys can work in teams on the Jamboard to collaborate and ask right there or think and search questions, find the answer and the evidence, and use the race strategy to share what you have found. So today, boys and girls, your question that you're going to be answering in your Reader's Workshop notebook is going to be ask a think and search question and answer it. Can't really think of a think and search question? Go back to your notebook because you jotted down some beginnings to a think and search question. Be sure to tell where the answer was found, like I did when I said paragraph 4, even though I got it wrong. I said 5, but it was 4. Okay? So, did I do this? According to paragraph 4 from Lessons from the Deep, the octopus can protect itself from predators because it can expel water from its siphon and push itself backwards so it can escape. Squirting ink at a predator allows it to disappear from the predator. Camouflage is an interesting way for the octopus to go undetected since it can match colors, patterns, and even textures of its surroundings. As a last resort, the octopus can break off its arm, much like a lizard does with its tail, to escape. The arm will grow back with no damage. Remember to apply today's learning target. Answer a think and search question or a right there question. Find the answer and use the race strategy to communicate your findings. And I will see you at Guided Practice on Reading Live. Until then, read on, Knights.